Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, so we're back. This is another episode of the Now for Later podcast. I'm your host, Eric Mika. Today is episode 5 of our second season.
Sorry.
There's our co-host, our special guest today. Episode 5. The odd episodes are quote unquote me episodes. Today, as you just learned, my intro was spoiled by the other person that's not me. I'm here with my wife, Gabrielle. She's back on the show, so welcome back. You want to get a little bit closer to the mic?
There you go. Hear me better?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you were looking at me, and so I thought you wanted a response to the 5th episode, so I just had to do a little whoop.
No, it's fine. Are you comfortable like that?
Let me scoot forward a little.
Did all this work to set up?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
All right. Okay,
I'm
cool.
fine.
Well, welcome to the show. It's good to have you back. You've been kind of begging to be back on.
No, stop. Stop. It's good to be back. No, I've not been begging, but love to be back. Always getting a little nervous talking in a microphone.
Yeah, you like start loud whispering or something.
I don't know. My voice changes. It becomes raspy immediately whenever.
It's not raspy. It's like you're talking like Michael Jackson or something.
Michael Jackson.
Just talk.
No, I don't know. I just am conscious of it, but I like being here.
Thanks.
Yep.
I hope so.
Thanks for.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. Obviously, Alicia is incredible. She's very fun, very easy to talk to, cool stories, great perspective. Very good person. You got to meet her.
No, yeah, she was awesome. She came to our complex and where you recorded, and it was fun talking with her for a second before you guys recorded.
Yeah, she kind of met the whole crew, which was fun because I didn't have the equipment that we're using right now, and so there was a whole technical difficulty, but she was great.
I think I had Lilo, the dog, too. I had
the dog,
our dog, and Maddie, baby.
Yeah.
Jojo wasn't there.
I think it helped. Jojo was sleeping. I think it helped because she's a dog person, so kind of broke the ice. And honestly, you and I talked about this, but I think her being there for like a good 40 minutes and we were just chatting.
Yeah.
Like made the next hour like super easy.
Yeah.
You know? But that's just not easy to do with guests because like you're already trying not to take too much of their time.
Because not a lot of times, but I feel like most of your interviews have been virtual. There've only been like most of them, right? And so I feel like usually the Zoom, it's not Zoom, but like the Riverside, when you open it, it's just like, oh, hi, thanks for coming in. Okay, like press record. Like it kind of like immediately starts.
Yeah.
And so it's just, the icebreaker is during the interview. But yeah, that was awesome because we were missing a microphone. So someone ran back and grabbed it and we were just chatting away. So no, she was really cool.
Yeah, super cool. That was a fun one. And man, she's got a lot of fans. Like,
yeah.
I was just saying before we started recording, I just uploaded the YouTube, full video, and it's already got more views than most of our other videos.
Yeah.
And YouTube hasn't been like a point of emphasis for us, but yeah, like the only reason I put it up because I'm always slow to that was because like someone DM'd me. It was like, when is the full video up?
Really? That's awesome.
I think it was a guy.
Nice.
She also has some creepy guys. Like,
creepy.
Well, I might have cut. I think she is. I cut this out because it just didn't like really work in the flow of where I started. But yeah, when I put it out there, like, oh, Alicia's coming on the podcast. Like, who?
Oh, didn't you ask her like what type of guy she's like?
No.
Oh.
No. What?
I don't know why I thought that. Maybe that was someone else.
I would definitely not do that.
Sorry.
Just met her. I'm like, yeah, it's a podcast about this, and then
I'd get
deep.
You
do that because you're a girl.
I know, girls are better.
Okay. Anyways, no, like 3 guys asked, or like maybe it was 2, I don't know, but enough that I was like, oh, weird. They were like, ask her what her preferred like first date is.
No, because you did like a question bubble or a question box, on Instagram. Any questions for Alicia? And then that's when all the guys were coming in asking about the first date.
Yeah, there's some weirdos out there, but whatever. Big fans.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. I mean,
Shoot your
you
shot.
never know. Yeah, you never know.
Shoot your shot.
maybe something would come from that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that was good. Episode before that was great. People loved the BYU clip that we played.
The Gonzaga.
The Gonzaga block.
Gonzaga.
One of my teammates, I played with him in Serbia, Josh Perkins, was on that Gonzaga team. I tagged him and David. David never
acknowledged.
I should text him. He's probably just like, all right, you wiener. Like, I'm pretty sure
when pissed at that point.
When we played his senior year, my freshman year, he won 2 out of 3 games. So, like, you know, he's got that over me.
It's probably still really personal, like a personal.
David, everything Gonzaga, David takes personally. So.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah. He didn't acknowledge it, but Josh Perkins responded. It was like, yeah, I can't repost this. I'll get murdered. So I was laughing at that. What a game, though. That
was awesome. No, yeah, we were talking about this, that when you guys won, it was an away game, and I was like cheering, but I didn't travel. There was like a travel team, but I didn't go. So I was at home with my family in the basement.
You didn't travel? I don't think there was a travel team.
Yeah, there was.
Not for basketball.
For cheerleaders?
There were not cheerleaders at that game for us.
Maybe it was just football.
Yeah.
Your first year you don't travel at all.
Oh. I really don't think there were cheerleaders.
There were. Yeah, I think there were. I think there were.
Ever.
Maybe not there. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. Is the point of that.
That is
the point of that. And I was in the basement with my family, and we were just going nuts, just cheering you on, because we were watching it. It was a good game, and it was like an unreal game for you.
Yeah.
And I just remember we had like a video. I think my mom was like videoing us, recording us, just like screaming and like jumping, and me and my sister, because Ashlyn, I think, did she recently like get home from her mission or something?
Yeah,
my sister or something. So we were like maybe. All like living there, all like in the area, and so we were just screaming, jumping around. It was just like insane, and it didn't go into overtime, did it?
No,
I don't even remember.
It just came down to the wire.
It just came down to the wire.
I think your dad, for a long time, I'd have to ask him, but for a long time still had the recording.
Well, no, yeah. I remember even like a year or two ago, he's like,
he probably still has it now.
Well, I remember he's like, oh, I saw that I had it. I went back and I rewatched it.
That's awesome.
He like rewatched it like a year or two ago.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good to have you back, babe.
Thank you. It's been a long time no see.
I mean, yeah. Let's jump into the rapid fires. You've heard my episodes. You know how they go. Mm-hmm. We kind of went over this, what we wanted to talk about. One of them I'm going to throw in there. You don't know what to expect.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Let's talk about number 1, pet peeves. We have a lot of these, so that's why we're going to we're willing and able to do one every other week, because we have a lot of them.
We've like turned into haters somehow over the years.
Yeah. This one came up though because it was
happened to like both of us.
Yeah, and it was a current event the last couple days. I was scheduled to have a phone call and then just never got it. I called twice. Never heard the text. Like no,
please respond. Please
never got a text.
Me.
Never got a call back. Never got
just keep calling.
Oh, hey, sorry, super busy. Can we try tomorrow? I'm just
leaving voicemails.
I just don't get that.
Yeah, especially if it was like a scheduled call.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah. If it's like,
and you were like texting them like 5 minutes before the call.
Yeah.
Like, hey, call me in 5 minutes, and then nothing.
Well, I guess, yeah, it was like, there was some text exchange, which makes it even more confusing. But yeah. I just never understand. And eventually I did get in touch with this person, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But like,
we were planning our day around it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there like an idiot for 20 minutes. Just text me, even if you're late, even if it's not going to happen. Be like, hey, let me call you later. Let me call you tomorrow. Rain check, like something. Oh, yeah. I just don't understand how you leave people hanging like that.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
That's just me.
Well, I was talking about like, because I'm with the boys, right? So like, even if it's like a little play date or just something, an activity that I have scheduled, it takes me so long to get them ready. And I literally plan everything around that one event, because planning like events or like get-togethers or kind of stresses me out. And so right. I get them ready, and I have to like feed them right before and everything, and then recently we were talking about this, you know, same thing. Supposed to meet up with someone for something, canceled like right when I'm walking out the door. It's like, okay, now what? Now what? And so, yeah, that is a pet peeve for sure.
I mean,
I'm like, I feel like when, interrupted. Because I feel like whenever I commit, I like overcommit to the point where I feel like I couldn't cancel, like even if I'm like sick or even if I'm like, which I feel like is bad too, because people are flexible.
You've gotten better at that.
I've gotten better
because I like because of you. Like, hey, just let them know you can't.
Yeah,
and keep it real.
It's like they understand, but I'm like, I'm like lying on the couch, just like, oh, what?
I thought you were gonna talk about lying.
Oh, about like being a liar.
Yeah, well, because like
I feel like I always have to have an excuse for something.
Yeah, because you've gotten way better because you're like, now you just I've told you for years, like, just keep it real. Like, say you're not feeling well, say you've been busy, say like you just can't, you know, you have other stuff, and you're just like, no, I need to tell them freaking I'm in the hospital and my mom is dying. It's
I feel like I can't not do something unless I have an excuse like that.
Yeah.
Like an excuse, like that's someone died or like my leg got chopped off or something.
Your leg's good.
But I'm not a liar.
I know you're not a liar. You just want to let down.
You're like lying.
You want to let
tell them about your lying.
You want to let people down easy.
I'm like a people pleaser. It's whatever.
You've gotten better.
Is what
I'm saying.
I've gotten better
last couple of years
at not wanting to please people. It's about hating people.
But that's life. That's growth. All right, next one. And I looked up the answer to this because we were talking about it earlier. We're talking food, restaurants.
Oh, nice.
Favorite places to eat, kind of deal.
Okay. Oh, want me to say it?
Yeah. Which one? Can you remember the name?
Oh, tell
us about it.
I have no idea of the name. So yeah, we were talking about places we like to eat because there's this food rapid fire question. And one place that we were obsessed with was this restaurant. It was in France, of all places. And it was an Indian restaurant.
A tiny town in France.
It was it's Bourg-en-Bresse.
Yeah, where were we playing? Don't say it in French.
I was going to try to pronounce it in French.
Just do it. You want to.
I don't want to. I hate.
You like
I'm
doing
not good
this.
at like accents or anything.
Yeah,
I was just
so you
gonna
should
say
do it. Just do it.
Should I really?
Yeah.
It's like Bourg-en-Bresse. It's like, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, something like that.
There it is. Do you remember the name of the restaurant?
I haven't even like tried to think about it. Like
Bollywood.
Oh, I was gonna say like Baba something.
Baba Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush.
Yeah.
Bollywood.
That place was good. We ate there like once a week.
It was an amazing, an unreal Indian spot.
So heavy, so fat.
It was really good.
Greasy.
The naan bread, naan.
Don't say naan, or else Marcus Graves will get mad at you and make fun of you for everything you've ever pronounced differently, not even incorrect.
He had didn't he have like a list of things that I said, pulled up on his phone of things that I
said nan, and he was like, why
this is one of his teammates.
This is one of my teammates. I'm gonna send this to you, Marcus, piece of crap.
Jeez.
He was I said nan, and then he was like, you mean non? And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, sure. And he was like, you also say this, like, and this and this and this. Like, he had a running list in his head.
It had been like bugging him for a long time, like eating at him.
I like it though, you know, because
keeping it real with you.
But like I said,
honest.
I mean, I like it that he expressed it. It means we have a good relationship, but also, you know, he's just keeping it real. I wish I did that with people more. We both do. That's what we were talking about with the whole cancellation thing. But my bone to pick with it was like, I don't even think a bunch of them, I was saying them wrong. I was just saying them differently. It's just like,
do you remember any of the other ones?
No, but like, I want to say tomato, but like nobody really says tomato. You know what I mean? But they were like things like that.
Yeah.
That like you could say both ways. Not like I was atrociously pronouncing these things. Anyways, we're going to jump to, I'm going to skip the plane experience. Unless you want to just give it in a minute. Just because we got to go quickly.
I talk for forever.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do a minute. Right, so it's like a crazy plane story.
Ready, go.
Okay.
I'm looking at the clock.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. So I'm coming back to America. I think you were playing somewhere. It was like I was traveling by myself from Europe. It was a long flight. I want to say it was American Airlines because I feel like there's always crazy stuff that happens like in American. It's always just not like not it.
You're 20 seconds in.
Okay, we're going to get off the flight. You know, everyone's standing up. Like everyone stands up like the second the
Hate that.
you know, the bell. What is it, like the chime?
Yeah.
Like ding.
Nice.
And everyone's standing up, but then like something happens. Like the doors don't open for like an hour. Like no one should have stood up. We're like on the tarmac stuck, and everyone's freaking out. And so people are kind of like pushing each other. And then there's these two guys. Sorry, I'm over a minute.
Yeah,
I'm over a minute. Stop. These two guys are like kind of pushing each other, like shoving each other. This one guy has like a briefcase, is kind of like shoving the guy in front of him. He turns around. He's like, "Stop shoving me! Stop pushing me!" And they kind of like
were they in the same row? And he was trying to push him out into the aisle.
No,
or something?
they were in the aisle. They were standing in the aisle, and there were two people.
They're trying to make their way towards the door.
Towards the door, because I think it had opened at this point. It had opened at this point, and they were just trying to get out. Like everyone was like stir crazy.
Yeah.
And they got into like yelling, shoving match. I'm pretty close. Like I'm witnessing this whole thing. They're shoving each other, cussing each other out. One of the guys grabs the guy, you know, the overhead bin, like the door of the overhead bin. It was open because everyone had got their suitcase out. He grabs the guy, pushes his head in the overhead bin and slams it. I swear. I saw it. I swear. Everyone's
How tall was this
out.
guy? I feel like only I'm tall enough to get my head smashed in.
It was like the bottom of the overhead bin, like right where it closes.
Oh, so it was already open.
It was already open.
And then he just like,
it was already open. He pushes his head in it, and he goes like that, and he slams it. And then like it was like a whole thing. People were like, leave him alone. Like, and then after when we were walking out, there was like, he was with those two guys were like with the cops, talking, but it was kind of wild.
It is wild. Because
I never seen like a fight like that.
2.5 minutes. Good job. That makes me, I have another one for 2 weeks from now.
Okay, cool.
Really good
I'm
one.
excited to
Really
hear it.
That's a good one. I don't know how I had never heard that.
I've told you, but whatever. It's fine. You don't listen. I'm just kidding.
You're freaking stupid.
I told you like probably 20 times.
No, you've never told me that. Anyways, all right. I thought of a song for the playlist, the song that we're feeling right now, but then like I had only ever heard like 30 seconds of it from like clips and different things. And then remember we were listening to the whole song. We were like, okay, this is weird. So I'm not going to throw that out to anyone. I've asked people if they have a baseball walkout song. You've been to a baseball game. You know how like you have your walkout song. What's your walkout song?
I don't know. You've asked me this before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have asked me this.
Jeez, I just don't remember anything.
You asked me this, and I like said like something like some Doja Cat song or something. I was kind of like joking.
I like that.
But I don't know. I really don't know what my walkout song would be. I don't really.
How about a Bad Bunny song? He was just here in Vegas.
Sure.
Which one?
I
need a song. We can't just leave these people with. They gotta look something up.
I could tell you about that album that I've been obsessed with.
Sure, do it. Why not?
But you keep on making fun of me for it. It's gonna turn into me talking the whole podcast.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was just on Spotify, just looking up songs. I don't know what happened. I come across an album I had never heard before, and I love it. But you're making fun of me because it's Tory Lanez. It's a Tory Lanez album.
I just think it's crazy he shot someone in the foot.
I know. I was just like, this
I'm not
guy.
making fun
I was
of
like,
you.
he's amazing.
I'm making fun of him.
He's amazing, and you're like, he shot someone.
I wasn't saying.
I'm like, you can't write him.
Whatever.
Just kidding.
Tell him the album.
Alone
at Prom.
Alone at Prom.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Yeah. I don't know. It has like the Weeknd, Dawn FM vibes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
one of those songs, walkout.
I don't know. I thought it was a good album.
Okay, and then to wrap up rapid fire, a play or a game that lives rent free in our heads. I picked this one. Was the Chelsea game. Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, not to go into too much detail, but we had a break when we were playing in Italy. I think we went to London for 4 days, maybe ish.
Yeah.
Got this Airbnb that we didn't know.
I was gonna say you need to talk about the Airbnb for 1 second.
The Airbnb that we didn't know the guy was like giving us his room, and then he was like sleeping on the couch.
We show up to the Airbnb. We show up like right before the game.
Yeah, and he had to have the tickets mailed to him because that's how the ticket system works.
And like he wasn't answering. We were freaking out. We didn't want to miss the game. That was stressful.
That was stressful.
we go, and it was supposed to be like, it's a 1-bedroom Airbnb. And so it's like, of course, like we get the whole place. We show up, he lets us in, and he's like, oh yeah, like you guys take my bedroom. I'm just going to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I remember going out like in the morning to like cook something. We had grabbed groceries after the game, and he was there.
He said that. He's like, yeah, he's like, if you need to use the kitchen, like it's fine. Like I'm just going to be on the couch.
Hey, he's hustling.
I know, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It wasn't
awesome. It wasn't awesome. London was awesome. But yeah,
the Chelsea game was so cool.
I mean, the game was sick. Like
Yeah.
the stadium was unreal. It's like a team that I was a fan of for a long time, mostly because of playing with them on FIFA. You know what I mean? But like, it was cool going and seeing all those players, and they won, I think 3-0, and we were right behind one of the goals, like in the lowest section, and like the fans were just nuts. And what was cool was like they all knew the game. You know what I mean? Like when I go to basketball games, I like almost can't even stand like when I can hear other people talking about the game because they just have no idea what they're talking about, you know?
It's like
and not that I know soccer very much, but like it just seemed like they were all so invested. Like they knew what players, you know, were out there and their strengths and their weaknesses and their history, and like even like the 80-year-old ladies were like cussing like, just like sailors,
yelling at the refs,
obscenities.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The fans were the best part.
Fans were the best part, but yeah, it was fun.
Like we were just looking around. I remember those old ladies you were talking about.
Nuts.
They were just cussing, and we were just like looking around, like looking at each other, laughing. That was fun.
Very fun game.
We need to go back to London.
Yeah.
Or
to that guy's Airbnb with the boys.
With the boys.
Okay, that wraps us up for rapid fire. Should we just call it good? We're 22 minutes in.
Sure. with rapid fire.
No, with everything.
Whatever.
Jeez. You want to get out of here, huh?
I need to go to bed.
Okay. Let's move on to a little on and off the court update. Obviously, still not playing. Mentioned that last solo episode. I'm done for this season, and pretty much the plan right now is to lose weight, which I've been doing, and just kind of see how the knee responds. Losing a little bit of weight.
He's on some like UFC dietitian's plan. Pretty strict, but tons of protein.
I felt like, I didn't have tons of like just straight fat to lose, so I wanted to go out, think outside the box, and so I'm on this interesting diet that I just have to eat so much protein every day, which
He's
makes
been
sense.
like obsessed with eating fish. Yeah. We got like these fish from Costco, these like tortilla crusted. I think it's tortilla crusted.
No way.
Yeah, it's tortilla flake crusted or something, I swear.
fire.
Tilapia, right?
Oh yeah.
They're really good. They're really good. But,
we have them like 3 times.
But like every day we're like, what should we eat? And he's like, fish. He's like, I'm just down with fish again. Literally for like lunch and dinner.
I'm trying to stick with it. All right. Yeah. Lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Sticking with it.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's been good. And I've just been murdering myself on the rowing machine. I don't know if anyone out there listening has ever been on a rowing machine, but it is tough. Because that's about all I can do.
Attest.
I can do a little bit of swimming, but it kind of hurts. I'm not supposed to bike.
Assault a little.
Yeah, but I just do it with my arms.
Yeah.
The assault bike. But yeah, rowing's kind of like the main cardio that I can get. So I've just been doing that. Yesterday I did a 5K in 18 minutes and 25 seconds.
It's awesome.
So Alec, if you're out there listening, I beat you. Actually, I don't know. It was close. You texted me your score once, or your high score, your best time, but I don't remember it. The team's been traveling, so we've been traveling because I'm not with the team when they go out of town. They're on a 10-day road trip right now. So, I mean, here we are on the podcast. Obviously, we're trying to find things to do.
We've been in survival mode with a crazy toddler.
Yeah.
No, he's a sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy. We did go to Zion's National Park. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You got a lot of hours outside.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them about your 1,000 hours?
Yeah, I'm doing this
a little update.
1,000-hour challenge.
I was doing it,
with me, but
I just stopped keeping track. So
there's like an app.
I'm pretty close to whatever you are.
It's like an Instagram. I think it's probably how it started, but it's like 1,000 hours outside challenge in a year. And so there's like a tracking app. You can track every hour. It has like a calendar. And And no, yeah, I just think it's a cool idea. And so we've been doing it. I think we're at like 120 hours or something.
Yeah.
For the year. So
that's solid.
I don't know. It's
gotten you to go outside
for sure.
More, like even when it's cold, even when you don't feel like it, it's like, no, you should.
It motivates you to get outside. Yeah. And then, it feels good, and it's fun for the boys and for me. And
I think it's a great idea.
So I'm loving it.
What else is new? Just settling into my role of player development. Nobody listens to me.
You're the dad.
I'm the dad. I have
scolding.
I have to be the mean parent constantly.
With the kids.
Chase them teenagers. Around. Get them to go to class. No, it's been fun. It's been cool. It's kind of low key just because the season is winding down, so the bulk of the work is already done. And
they've traveled a lot.
And they're traveling a lot. And but it excuse me, it has been fun figuring out a program for next year, whether we're here or not, like helping our GM, run through different ideas and processes of, okay, what do we want these guys to learn? What do we want them to acquire as skill sets outside of basketball that will also help them in basketball? Just a lot of brainstorming, a lot of trial and error. We're taking kind of like classes ourselves just to see like how they work and if I can put myself in like a 17, 18, 19-year-old version of myself, like would it have helped me, become a better person and a more prepared person? So very similar to, a lot of these podcast episodes. So that's been fun. It's keeping me involved and with the team, but like I said, maybe in a different role. Being the bad parent, it's not my favorite thing. It's just different. Like when I talked about this the other day with somebody that I'm about to tell you guys about, but like my role when I'm playing is so much more simple because like I'm out there, we're seeing and feeling and hearing literally all the same things. You know what I mean? So, and it's also easier like to get a message across in just a couple words, like get back on defense, you know what I mean? Like yelling at them, like with that context, and like we're both out there doing it, struggling together.
Instead of versus in like a serious classroom setting.
Yeah, in a serious classroom setting or from the bench. A
little more serious.
It's harder, it's harder to connect because we're not out there like grinding it out together.
And also these kids, like they, in like the school setting, obviously it's like helping them for the future, but like, or I mean, I don't know, it's helping them to some degree, like doing school and stuff, but like they don't think so. I feel
it's not perfect. Yeah. And the
so
buy-in
like,
is the hardest
maybe
part.
They're not as receptive because they're so good at basketball. They have this basketball career ahead of them, and so you're trying to get them to do like schoolwork and classes, and they're just like, they're like 18, like gonna be like first round.
And it's not like they're being graded
like next or this year.
And if they get bad grades, then they're not eligible to play. So the buy-in and the motivation is the hardest part, but I think that's why I've been able to do a decent job of it, because I know these guys well. Like we are on the same team.
Yeah, I feel like that makes it better too, because you're like a peer instead of like this like authoritative figure.
I'm also physically intimidating. I told one of them, he said he wasn't coming to class. I said if he pinned me in a wrestling match, then he didn't have to come. And then he came. So
you think you could pin every guy on the team?
What? My gosh, it'd be too easy. I think
really?
There's some cases
I could see it.
I think there's some cases I could do two at the same time.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Stop.
I won't name names.
What do you mean some cases? Like some cases
like
on
there's
the
a
team,
couple
on
guys.
Ignite?
There's a couple guys that I could throw it in there together. It wouldn't be an issue.
Huh? Are you talking wrestling or like just anything goes?
Like anything, punch? Whatever you want. There's a couple guys that would give
me trouble. What about
like
two of me?
Two of you?
Do you think two of me could take you down?
No. Like take me down, like get me to the ground? Like maybe. Because there's two of you, so like but like it doesn't matter if you get me to the ground. Like whatever the fight is, I'm winning.
One of me could like jump on your back in a chokehold. And then the other one could like kick your knees.
Two of you, I still outweigh you by a lot.
No, I feel like two of me is you.
No. Maybe when I'm done with this diet.
Maybe after that 8 pounds you lost, now we're even. That 8 pounds was putting you over.
You name a place, a type of fight, whatever parameters you want. One of me is dominating two of you. You're just too little.
Okay, we'll see.
Sorry. Why don't you
maybe like a knife fight?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't think so though.
Maybe with weapons.
Consider like my reach. Consider my
weapons,
reach.
Though.
Maybe a gunfight. But like knives, no, because like I can reach twice as far as you.
True.
Why don't you find a friend that's similar size and we'll try.
Okay.
Anyways, that's player development. But I did do the broadcast. That was the thing I was alluding to.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I think that's probably the biggest update. I've been on with John Shriffen is the Ignite broadcaster, commentator. So sometimes while I've been hurt this season, he's brought me on, in the third quarter after timeouts and just give a quick update on me, on the team, and just really, pump Ignite up, for people listening. And he said I did a good job, and he enjoyed talking to me. And I've known him now for 2 seasons. So like he asked if I wanted to do a whole broadcast, like the color commentary. And so I jumped at that and did that last week, which by the time this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks ago, when we played the South Bay Lakers, and it was on NBA TV. It was like,
so cool.
It was like maybe our biggest game, our biggest
you just
platform.
Like casually like jump in, like commentate the whole game.
Yeah, it was my very first time.
You're
and
like,
it was
not?
Fun. It was hard. Like I've told everyone it's, and I got a taste of this when I did the BYU pregame and postgame and halftime. You have to be so quick. Like I'm so used to this, and also just like casual conversation with people. Like I think I'm good at that.
You're not like thinking about a million miles an hour.
Yeah,
like.
and I'm practiced, and like I'm purposefully like speaking slowly so that like my thoughts can be a little bit in front of my mouth. And in that, it's like you just have no time. It's like you have 15 seconds, and then all of a sudden, like the play changes, so I have to like be cut off. So then John can be like the voice that comes in and narrates like the big dunk or whatever. Like you have to be so precise and concise and efficient.
But then like words. Finishing your tangent, or maybe like you can't, and you have to just like move on, like but transition in some type of way. Like
it was hard.
Yeah,
it was different.
You came back and like you were more beat than like your games that you play. You were like exhausted.
I'm like, dang.
You were so tired the rest of it because it was an early game. It was like a 1:00 game.
Yeah.
So you came home.
Why was I so tired?
Like just like the mental exhaustion from it.
I think it was because
you came back and you're just so tired. Like you like had to like or you were like laying on the couch, and I'm like, you've like never been this tired. Like what is happening?
It's like not even hard at all.
It's like the mental. Like
no, I think just like. I must have been more nervous about it than
I would be nervous
than I realized. Like, I honestly wasn't nervous till I got there, and like every person I talked to was like, I bet you're nervous. Like you should be nervous, or like
I even asked you if you were nervous.
Yeah, don't screw this up. So many people are like, don't screw up, like as a joke. But then I'm like, dang, like I really could sound like an idiot on here. You know what I mean? So
you could have.
I think I was just like trying to be so locked in. I was so super hyper focused.
Like once you started, you kind of calm down? Like once you were in it, you probably couldn't think about being nervous because it was just going.
No, I wasn't nervous. It was more like I was trying to be calculated. So
that's a long time though to just be like chattering like nonstop.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, this guy, John, he just does it all. I think that was his 7th game of the week.
Like, what other sports does he do?
Well, he's doing college.
UNLV?
He's doing college. No. He just does whatever. He's ESPN. Yeah. So he's with the Chicago White Sox. So he had done 2 spring games that week. I think one the day before, and then a college game that night, college basketball. He does college football. He does... I don't know if he does NFL.
He has to like know all the sports so well.
Yeah,
and then all the players so well.
Yeah,
on both sides.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And
like
that's
all
what
the
he said
research
is like,
he's doing.
That's what he said is the hardest part is the research.
Because people probably think like I was even thinking like, after you did it for BYU or whatever, I was just the pregame. I was thinking, oh wow, like that's kind of like a cool gig or a cool job because you just do the games, show up, do the games, and then go home. Like you're get paid for the 2-hour game that day. But it's not. It's probably nonstop, just like studying and researching.
Yeah.
So he was saying that was the hardest part.
Yeah, he said that's the bulk of the work, you know. But yeah, it was cool. And like the BYU game, like I did watch highlights of their 2 games before that. I watched highlights of the other team's 2 games. Like you get to know them pretty quick, like if you know the sport as well as I do. So it wasn't that hard, but like 7 games
and different sports.
It's 14 teams, you know. And you know, he did say that. He said that's what's great about being like the commentator for Ignite, the commentator for the Chicago White Sox, because now for those teams he doesn't need to do research.
He knows them,
you know, he can go deeper and deeper into those stories, which I thought was interesting. So yeah, fun. I don't think something I want to do forever, but I liked it, you know. I'm going to continue to explore it and
another
pursue
path
it.
you could explore
as well. Anyways, that's life on and off the court. I wanted to highlight my flesh and blood, my relative, Abigail, as she goes by.
Okay.
I know her as Schmabby. AK Field. Doing some pretty cool stuff at All-Star Week.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What came to mind when I was thinking like, oh yeah, who should we highlight this week? She had this awesome picture. Maybe it was just to close friends. I can't remember. If it was, then I guess I'm ruining it. But it was like GQ or something posted all these all-stars in the elevator, like going up to go to the game. And I think Devin Booker was in there, LeBron's in there, KD's in there, and it's like full, you know?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, like there I am with my shoe. Like you can like barely see her shoes. Like she's like, I could just imagine
she's
her.
Probably
you
like
can't see any
pressed
of her.
up against like the side of the elevator. They're
Just
probably
squeezed.
like, can you scoot over for the picture?
Just squeezed into the elevator.
Or she's just like tiny compared to those guys.
No, she's just tiny,
like,
and
so
it was
she's
packed.
Just kind of like squished in.
Yeah, so she's there like next to LeBron, but like you can't see her. But it's just like cool that she was on that elevator. You know what I mean? Like
she's so cool.
Like Hall of Famers on there, and yeah, just what she does is very cool, and she's good at it. Yeah, she's gonna. I mean, I feel like photographers and quote unquote like behind the scenes people always end up having so many stories. Like this girl I follow on Instagram and Twitter, Utah Jazz history like buff. Yeah. She just like got all these tapes from the Jazz Bear. The guy who's the Jazz Bear for like, he was like the Jazz Bear for 40 years. And she said she had him on her show, and we were messaging about it, and she's like, yeah, he's just got stories for days. Like
just like crazy stories.
Because you're like, you're
like not about like plays or games or like, it's just like personal. Just crazy interactions. Just personal stuff.
Yeah. Interactions with the players and coaches and like the arena.
He probably like sneaks in the locker room, like uses the same locker room.
I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah. Anyways, shout out Abigail, sorry.
Jazz Bear. It's funny.
All right, and then some current events, and then we'll wrap this up, probably about 10 minutes. This is big hot topic right now.
Really?
Ryan Smith, I showed you the tweet. Ryan Smith tweeted.
The
new downtown, and said this is what the downtown needs. It needs some revitalization, needs some life, needs some money poured into it, needs some investment, and he's willing. You agree? And that's actually that picture I'm like, that looks like Europe, you know, like a pedestrian zone. Like I love stuff like that. I feel like that's something town square, that's something that we're kind of missing here. You know, we have great downtowns in the US, but we don't have like somewhere where,
at least in Utah,
but not in a lot of places where it's just like, oh, there's nothing to do, let's just go walk in the walking area, and you'll find something. There's food, there's shopping.
I mean, like here though, where we are in Henderson, I feel like there are. I mean,
it's tiny. It's
tiny for sure.
And even then, there's a street that goes in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Like a walk, and maybe it wouldn't be a pedestrian zone at the center, but I thought it looked pretty sweet. But then cool. I'm always interested in the comments and
what people are saying, how it's going to affect.
Yeah, like, I mean, people are pissed about the taxes. Everyone's going to, their taxes are going to be raised for, a big chunk of that thing, because it's going to cost like $1 billion or $2 billion. And this is like a big thing in sports right now. Like Tennessee Titans are going through it or went through it. The Buffalo Bills either built or are building a new stadium that costs taxpayers $850 million.
What? Why is it the taxpayers that pay the stadiums?
I mean,
like,
I mean, the argument is like that
it's like, what if you don't even like sports? Come on.
And that's the thing that makes it tough, because I get Ryan is already buying the team for like $1 billion. I'm sure he's putting money into that project too. Like, he can't just do it all, but also in the back of my mind, I'm like, he can. He has enough money. He's going to profit.
Like, come on, Ryan.
He's going to profit the most from it being there. But, you know, I get it.
Like,
I mean,
cough it up.
Yeah, I cough it up, but it's not easy, you know?
Yeah, because I'm like...
And the taxes aren't like... It'd be like... Someone tweeted... They could be wrong, but... And I could be wrong, but... I think they said it'd be like $300 a person or something like that in the state of Utah. But... And then someone else...
Equate to like total for like the year, or just like
no,
for
I think for the project or something like that, what they're potentially looking at. And then someone responded, was like, well, I live in frickin' Kanab. Like... like, how do you have Twitter? And they're like...
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. Go Cowboys. Is it Kanab Cowboys?
I have no idea.
Anyways, they're like, I'm not going to a freaking hockey game anytime soon.
Yeah.
There were other models, like I think the one in DC. This is big. This is going on like everywhere.
I don't know about this. I don't
like
follow that.
I guess there's kind of like a wave of resurging arenas, because a lot of them were built like in the 90s, and so now like everyone's trying to
they're all old, they need to be renovated,
everyone wants to renovate or rebuild, and so it's like, well, who shoulders that cost? I want to say it was the DC one, because like a downtown was proposed in DC, and they were trying to get taxpayers from all these different places to help pay. And I don't know if this was an idea, if it was executed. Obviously, I'm fuzzy on all these details, but I just think it's interesting how much back and forth there is. But they're like, how about you use the taxes from like that shopping area, that downtown area? You raise the sales tax, like keep it concentrated to that area, you know, or to the people that are actually, like, find a way to keep it concentrated. Yeah, the people that are utilizing it, that are like fans or that want to see it. And I get that too.
Price, like, for the... the sports events
prices. Make it more expensive. I mean, it's already so expensive though. So I don't know. It's kind of tough. So I'm wondering, like, what? Because
weren't you saying you did some research too? Because you're curious about what the community gets back from these sports teams.
Yeah, and it's like, money wise, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a loss.
You're like, if they're paying these taxpayers, how is it, or these taxes, how is it helping the economy or, the community? And you like looked and you're like, oh, it's not helping the community.
Yeah. It was like unanimously like, no, people don't make that money back per se.
Yeah.
But
like TV, like there's other ways that money are made.
The bigger argument is like, I don't know, I don't know what the argument is. Like, I want a hockey team there because I like hockey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
I would love that. I love hockey.
Maybe I do understand the argument, because that would be my argument, is like, it's just fun having teams. It's fun having like, Utah gets freaking on all the time.
Yeah.
For being lame. And maybe sports teams kind of help like people see that Utah's not lame.
It raises the value. It's true. It raises like the value of the community or the state.
It also,
it's like, okay, congrats. Now the state, you have to pay more taxes because now the state is cooler.
Yeah. A cool tax.
No,
I get it. I mean, I get both sides. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm definitely, I mean, if there's a hockey team or a baseball team, whatever, or both, like I'm for sure going to games just because I like both those games, I could, those are sports I can't watch on TV.
We'll pay the tax.
We'll pay the tax.
We'll pay the $300.
Whatever it is, I'm sure I'm off.
We'll pay the $300 too.
Yeah, we'll pay Kanab boys.
We'll pay $300 to build the downtown.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan, for nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. That's what's going on. So I want to know what people are thinking. Story time.
Okay, you find a story.
Fun things that happen in Germany. The first thing that comes to mind is bowling.
Oh, just kind of like any memory, not just basketball memory.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh.
Anything. I think bowling was, you and I talked about this with someone last night with Mary, saying how hard it is, like mid-season, change teams, try and get in with everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know, it's just hard, like jumping in mid-season and trying to become friends and build like a relationship and have camaraderie with the team who's like been together for 5 months and like know each other really well.
Even though it's a short amount of time, it like feels like longer. You connect a lot quicker.
I mean, that's what sports does. You have the training camp, so like you're hating your life for a month together, and then you're traveling, you're on the road, isolated. You have the games, you know, like it's just different.
Like same with the girls though too, you know,
for
like
sure.
the wives and the girlfriends.
Well, just because like
it's just like we're all each other's got,
yeah. And I do think like part of the reason I was able to break in to that group in Germany, who like I love and I keep in touch with a lot of them. Obviously, David being one of them, who we played together this year, and I think bowling was part of it because we used to bowl a lot. I mean, you and I went bowling a lot. I went bowling by myself one time.
You got multiple times, and I think
one time. It was like
I think you were going bowling by yourself, and it was like I don't want to go. I had homework or something. I was doing school. And
no, you were at your running group.
Oh yeah, there was a cool running club there too, a group. You were bowling alone, and like one of your teammates came in with like a date, right? Am I right? Came in with a date to bowling, just like some girl, and sees you, and he's like, Eric, like, and you're just bowling like by yourself.
This didn't happen this way. I was bowling by myself because it didn't make sense to drive into town, drop you off, drive home, and then like I would have immediately left. So I was like, let me just kill 20 minutes.
But I remember you were doing like really good and getting strikes, and at that bowling alley they would give you like a shot.
Yeah.
They would give you a shot if you had a strike, and so you were getting all the shots and you were giving them to your teammate.
Yeah.
And they were like,
that's what I was going to say. That's how I got in with them.
Oh, that's what you're going to say. I ruined the story.
Every time it was like Thursdays was shot night.
Yeah.
And I don't drink. So I was just, and I was pretty good at the time. So I was just getting strikes.
He probably wasn't getting any of those.
He was fine. It was GG.
Strike.
He was good.
Oh, okay. Strike.
But yeah, that was a good time. We went bowling a lot, and that was a super fun group. Very fun group.
Bowling's always a good time.
Underachieving group, unfortunately, on the court. But great guys. Seems to be a theme. All right, and then I'm gonna finish with this. Something I'm reading. I was still reading this last episode, so I have a goal to finish a book a month, and so I'm close to finishing this one. So fortunately, it's from the same book as the Napoleon quote.
Nice.
But this is a Psychology of Money. And I literally heard this today, and I wrote it down just because as I was driving, or yesterday. And it's interesting because like it's talking about how to strategies to get money, more importantly, how to strategies to save and grow your money. But just talked about like a big part of being wealthy is just not spending your money. Like, and not spending money you don't have, especially. So it's like
not what you wanted to hear.
It's not like proving your value, your worth, and your wealth as like a status, and like having this car and this car and this car to show people. Yeah. But it's like having the restraint to not do that, even if you could, which I thought was interesting. So a big part of that is, the writer puts it is humility, like the difference between being rich and not being rich, or wealthy and not wealthy a lot of the time is humility. And so he said, humility, kindness, and empathy will bring you more respect than horsepower ever will. So I thought that was cool. Like,
that is a cool quote.
Being wealthy is great for a number of reasons, obviously, and you should work hard to provide for your family and make as much as possible. But like relationships and all these qualities that I just mentioned are so much more than that. You know what I mean? Like, he talks about like, okay, he was a valet in LA for a time when he was younger. He's like, these guys would pull up in these crazy cars. He's like, I never cared about them. They were just like a benchmark. Like, I didn't think they were cool. I thought their car was cool. And I thought their car was something that I want to drive in, and I envisioned myself driving in. Like, he didn't worship those guys or think they were cool or better than him or anything
probably
like that.
He was probably like, how did that schmuck get that car?
Yeah, exactly. He was just like, they just have a nice car. You know, I don't care about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Like, if people see the kindness and the empathy and the humility that you bring to the table, in whatever facet of your life, like family, you know, with family, with friends, and work, in your community, then I think, you know, you have a much better impact, and you're going to live a better life than if you're worrying about the other part. So I thought that was cool.
That's a cool quote or perspective.
That's it.
Awesome.
I'm just going to cold turkey, just
cut it off.
Do they say dead fish, or is that just handshakes? Just dead fish this thing.
We could dead fish it.
Thanks for being here. You didn't really have a choice,
mm-hmm.
since we're in our living room. Pretty good setup though. Yeah, now that we can be in the same room.
You have all this stuff.
We got all this stuff.
Took a couple pictures of the setup.
We
were working it, setting up everything up.
We figured it out. It's been a real process. I hope this works.
I really hope.
Because it's been, it's been good flow, good combo. Maybe we could replicate it exactly.
We
could be like listening in one ear with like an AirPod and then like saying
just repeating it. It's like a robot
so bad.
Conversation.
I want you guys listening, if you made it this far, 50 something minutes in.
55.
Next week, great episode. Garrett G is coming on the show.
Woo, Garrett G.
A BYU legend, BYU soccer legend, a tech startup legend, and now what do you call him? Social media
influencer,
the original influencer. He
like
actually talks about that.
Yeah. It's like more like a vlog.
Yeah, vlogger.
Travel vlog. Yeah, vlogger.
But just
like influencer for sure.
Social media mogul.
Yeah, guru.
One of the best, and one of the first. Yeah, really awesome episode. Great guy. Look out for a giveaway. I'm gonna do a giveaway.
Let's do one.
We'll do a giveaway because I know, but we surpassed 1,000 followers.
We did.
And I'm not gonna give it to my 1,000th follower because it was like a porn bot.
I was like, "Who's the 1,000th follower?" He shows me it's just like some booty pic profile pic.
And it's got like one follower. Oh, jeez.
Congrats to that girl.
Yeah, we're gonna send her a Nike gift card. Make sure you go rate and review. Do us a big favor. Help us out. And like I said, tune in next Tuesday. We're gonna have another guest episode, and it is a great one. So thanks for being here.